Hi everyone, welcome to Cheltenham Chart episode 18. No horses to review today. And as I reviewed my bets last week on the champ.ie podcast, and they kindly reviewed them as well, just to highlight how bad they were, which was quite, well, it just doesn't matter really, but yeah, it just showed how bad they were really again to other people, a lot of other viewers. So a lot of people have asked me about the videos. Now it's only a week to Cheltenham, and I am, excited to try and make a sixth profit in a row. It's not easy to do, and I could lose my whole bank next week, and I'm going to talk about that in the rest of the show. Actually, how tough Cheltenham can be to win, how good it is when you do win, but how you feel when you don't as well. But people have asked about the videos. Now, I've got 1,500 subscribers. I wouldn't imagine the subscribers all watch each week, but I've got a very knowledgeable crowd, and people have asked me about, growing the channel and to take the channel forward, what I could do. And I think I know in my own heart that to take the channel forward, I would need to get a better grasp of technology a little bit. I'd have to introduce guests into the show. I think that they would make a big difference. Having someone to banter with. I liked when I used to make the videos with Gary. They used to be on Gary's channel, but I felt like it was okay. I could look at the weekend's racing. I could look at the Dublin Racing Festival, etc., Aintree, and have good banter with Gary. And I felt like I was doing well on that channel, and I feel my own channel would benefit from that a lot. But I need to find time to get the technical ability to make Zoom calls or build an app, buy an app that can do the sort of things I want, and then get the videos onto YouTube, which is the difficulty. I make the videos on an iPad, where I think most people use laptops. I think I'm just like the ease of an iPad, and although the iPad I have is top notch, it's maybe making things slightly more difficult for me on those platforms where I could make videos. So I'd like to make more videos, is the answer to the questions. I'd like to have guests on and hopefully, good tipsters, plus maybe guests from racing yards, etc. But at the moment, I don't have the technical ability to make those videos and be sure I could get them up onto YouTube after. So that's the answer to that question as to why I don't have guests and why it's just myself. And I have to say that being on my own does make it really tough. I mean, I watch these videos where there are sometimes like 4 or 5 people on. Now, when you make a video like that, you talk about the county hurdle, and then each person puts a selection up and a couple of horses each way. You've all of a sudden got maybe 12 to 15 horses mentioned in a county hurdle. Now, surely someone's going to come up with a winner then. But when your head is above the parapet like mine, it's me on a bank being judged. It's not easy. And we've had real highs on these videos. I mean, the season that Chitabello won the county hurdle at 16-1 to add to 2 other winners we made over £1,000 profit. And even if I do lose the bank this season, I'll still be at 1,032. If I lost the whole bank this season overall in the videos, I'd still be up over £1,000 betting a bank of 400 each year, and I'll still have made a profit 5 years out of 6. But I want to do well again, and I want the highs of the Chitabellos and the top of the games. Classical Dream won that season. I've had winners in every season. Honeysuckle produced most of the winnings in her season, winning the mares. Of course, Mount Ida was the only winner when it looked like I was going to make a loss that season, when Kilcrat had been beaten after we got 14-1 anti-post, and he went off odds on and got beaten to second. Last season, made they had nearly doubled the bank, but my feeling is that I still got robbed on Tell Me Something Girl being brought down. And I think I would have made an even bigger profit last season if that horse had won, because I think I would have backed Commander of Fleet in the Coral Cup. Instead of putting 1 selection, I'd have probably put 2. But I was trying to hold on to some of the bank little did I know that the nice guy out the anti-post bets would win. Cheltenham is a great place to bet. It can make you feel as high as a kite, but it can break you pretty hard as well. I'm under no illusions. I remember how I felt the year that Boston Bob fell in the RSA at the last when in the lead, and I hadn't had a winner that whole Cheltenham. Drove back through to Bristol from Bristol, and there's tears in my eyes at how much I'd been down that season. And that's not a good feeling, and I don't like it. And it's like a football team that lose. You got to learn from losing, and you got to not want to lose. So when people think, oh, it is just a few videos, well, my money's going on these horses, so I want to win. And if I lose, I want to know that I put everything into it. And I gave it a good shot. And if I lose the whole bank, then I put enough work into it. I think it's important that you put the work in. But I can't guarantee a profit because nobody can guarantee a profit. I seen professional punters that year, Boston Bob lost, going home from the airport. Now, they'd had a right punt on my tent or yours at 10-1 that year for the Supreme. Now, he went off odds on and he got beaten. And I think they probably, in the heat of the moment, they were probably expecting winnings of my tent or yours. They didn't get them. And they weren't exactly chasing, but they're obviously betting at the track for the rest of the races on those 3 days. And they got well beaten and they were hurting hard that they hadn't won. Because it's not a place when you lose to be. And you have to remember that. Because I've remembered days at the racetrack where I backed Hussard Collonge. Me and my mate were the only two people in the whole stand celebrating when he won the RSA. Everyone was on the favourite. When the favourite came to his girth, there was a roar from the crowd because McCoy on Pipe's favourite was coming, they thought, to win, and our horse held him off. And you were almost scared to celebrate. It was like being in the home end when you sport the bitter rivals, really. You were trying not to get too excited because everyone else had just got beaten, you'd won. And it's a great feeling when you're the one on the winners, but it's not a good feeling when you're getting thrashed and your horse falls at the last. So I've got horses in mind, of course I do. But with so many videos out, people are noticing the same horses as me. I really fancied Beacon Edge. I thought I'd found a sort of in that other people weren't noticing, and at Gigginstown were taking high-class chasers back into handicap hurdle, like the Coral Cap. They'd done it with Cracky and Smart. They'd done it with Commander of Fleet last season. I suppose it would have been better for me if Commander of Fleet had been second, and then I would have still had that little edge that I don't have now. I watched one video where 3 people out of 5 put Beacon Edge up. Of course, he's not a certainty, Campron. So it's the complexities of these handicaps that you got to look at. There's lots of other races. I mean, I see Facile Vega now really shortening up. Now, people are really forgiving to give this horse another chance. Is that the right thing to do? I don't really know. I'll look at the races and I'll judge them. I mean, he's beaten him, Illetta Tom, easily the time before. Was it really just not the real Facile Vega? If you're willing to forgive, you're getting a good price. But it's a hard run to forgive in a way. So, like I've said, Cheltenham is tough. You get highs, you get lows. And the lows tend to be very low and the highs tend to be very high. I can only hope that my bets this season are good. Now, I've got 1,500 subscribers. Most of the guys who watch these videos are so intelligent that they're not just going to back my selection off the bat. But the guys who these videos were made for in the first place, they will tend to back what I put up. So I have an obligation to them to, put a bit of effort in and try really hard. Plus, I want to be the golf caddy who sort of shows that it can be done, that you can make a profit at Cheltenham. But the only thing that I would try and sell my videos on is the honesty of I'm backing them and I'm really trying to win. And that's why I've got no bets up yet, because I haven't really had one that I could really say I've absolutely hammered this season, and I really fancy it. Now, I have got a conscience. I can't be paid by a racing paper, go and put 15 selections up just because someone's told me to do it, and then not care if it wins because I've not got any money on it. I can't do that. But that's because I care. And I think lots of people are like that unless they've backed it, they're not going to put it up as a selection and make out they've backed it. Maybe some of the smaller videos do that as well. I don't know. I simply can't do it. I can't go on a show each week and say I've backed this horse if I haven't backed it, or I advise 40,000 people to back it. But I want to enjoy the festival this year. We've made profits 5 years, and I hope that I can do it again because that will make it more enjoyable if I can win. And that's the ultimate goal on these videos. But I know the sinking feeling you can get when you lose. And I've seen it on these videos. I didn't want to see another horse after Kilcrack got beat, but I had to put a video up the next day. And it shows you the turnaround in emotions because I felt Kilcrack got a bad ride. Should have beaten Sir Gerhard in that bumper. And then I've got to put bet up for the next day. And it goes to 1,000 to 1 before winning as well. So it's not like it was an absolute certainty at any. Well, considering how it won, it probably was about 3 stone well in. But it shows you the change in emotions you can have. So you've got to really be disciplined at Cheltenham. If you're a sort of punter who's just betting on Cheltenham, you've got to have a bank, you've got to have a plan where you're going to back certain horses. You can't go in with a £400 bank and having lost it after 5 races. You've got to say, well, I fancy that one on Thursday. I'm going to have 50 quid on it. I fancy this one on Friday. I'm going to have 40 on that. And I fancy this one on Tuesday. I'm going to have 40 on that as well. And then you manage the rest of the money around what you're doing, and you avoid certain races where you don't want to bet at all. But you can't afford to be £400 down after Tuesday and scraping around trying to find some money for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and chasing the losses. That's not the game. Well, it's certainly not the game for me. So I've probably gone on a little bit too long. Next week, I'll put a daily preview up. I have 12 thumbnails in case I need to have 12 bets out the £400. I will put the bets up in the best of faith. I will have backed the horses that I put up with my own money. And if I don't make a profit on the bank, I won't make a profit at the Cheltenham Festival. But I fully intend to give it a really good go. I'd love to say I did it 6 festivals in a row making a profit, but I know how tough it'll be. So enjoy the build up to the festival. I hope you're finding some value bets. I'll be back to you next week with my daily previews and my bets. Thanks for watching my video today. Bye for now.